welcome to the Soul Sister channel on this Thursday, February 4th. So glad you could join me for your daily spiritual message. Let's get started with the 3 deep cleansing breaths. Take the first one. On this first deep cleansing breath, you know it, we're releasing all toxicity, disease, and negativity from our physical, etheric bodies. Let it all go. Okay, good. Second one coming up. On this deep cleansing breath, we're releasing all disease, toxicity, and negativity from our emotional astral body. One more. Third breath. Take a deep breath. On the third breath, we're releasing all disease, toxicity, and negativity from our mental bodies, both higher and lower. We're seeing all this negativity just flowing out of our bodies. If you can see it like murky or black or nasty or gray, just see it all leaving your body. We're going to see the inside of our body is full of this white light. And that white light is extending beyond into a circle that surrounds us. And in that circle of white light is light, love, and the will to good. And the circle is deflecting all this negativity, disease, toxicity, lower vibration is just bouncing off our bubble and going back to where it came. Nice little trick, isn't it? You're going to want to do this trick as much as you can. It is helpful. A quick note, when I go through the breathing, I do say physical, etheric, emotional, astral, and mental bodies, both higher and lower. And you're like, what the heck is she talking about there? And I just want to let you know that there are 2 levels. We have our physical being, and then we have our spiritual being, our energetic being. Same thing. Energy, spirit, same thing. So we have this energetic being, and the energetic being, physical cohort is the etheric body. The emotional is the astral body, which we kind of know about because we go there in our dream state. And then the mental body, the higher, is our intuition and our wisdom. So that's our energetic body versus our physical body. Just a quick note on that. Well, today is Thursday and more fun and games. It's the relationship week this week. We do have our little friend, wouldn't want to forget, Mr. Mercury retrograde with us for a long time yet, kind of screwing everything up. If you have any computer issues, any travel issues, any communication issues, blame it on Mercury retrograde. It's your good excuse, and it's probably true. So we have that going on. During this Mercury retrograde, we're having some very deep, impassioned conversations in our relationships. I mean, yesterday we talked about maybe it's time for some of those relationships to be released. It's still pretty intense today. We still have the moon in Scorpio. And so all of these deep feelings, even repressed feelings, and the negative feelings that we repress are usually woundedness. We're being hurt or rejected. So, those parts of us that we don't accept and we feel unworthy because of them, we need to let that go too. But so with this energy though, it's so intense, it's really hard for us to get out of it and into our objective self. We have the mind. So we're all down here in the astral, the emotional astral. We're hanging out here in the gut, and we need to come at it from our heads, the objective part of ourselves. But it's really hard for us to do that today. And just want us to be made aware of it, because there might be some pretty emotional exchanges, pretty passionate, either positive or negative. And it's going to be really hard for us to communicate these emotions that we're feeling. And it's likely that when we try to communicate, it's going to get not going to be heard the way we intend. We're intended, which is going to cause even more of an issue. Hello, Mercury retrograde. So, communication, real issue today. It's a real issue. So, if somebody's not getting what we're trying to get across to them, we need to be tolerant and objective and try it again in a different way. We do have that Aquarian energy. If it doesn't work one way, let's keep trying a different way to get our message across to who we're talking to. That's it's kind of interesting because we are going to want to go get sucked into that negativity. But for us who are aware of what's going on, if we can get ourselves out of it, stay out of it, we can actually come up with some creative ways to resolve the situation or to get our point across so that it's communicated neutrally and objectively without being fueled with emotions like anger. That's my favorite because I like to say anger. Anyway, the other kind of interesting thing with these energies is that there is a relationship that some of us might be thinking about starting with someone, or we're in with someone, and it's not traditional. It's not your basic, heterosexual, or your basic. There is something non-traditional about it. It doesn't have to be sexual. It could be maybe a long distance relationship where you guys live very far apart, hence long distance. It could be, I don't know. But there is an opportunity for this kind of relationship today. It could be out there in the periphery, waiting to come in. We're not quite sure if we're ready for it or we want to accept it. We have very mixed emotions about it. But just to let us know that there is a possibility that there is some kind of relationship opportunity out there for some of us that doesn't have the traditional ring to it. We need to be open and we need to look at it objectively and see if it fits within our own lifestyle, our own values, and our own characteristics. So don't shut the door on it just because it's different. That's all I'm saying. Give it a chance. Okay. So that is what's going on today. Let's see what our guides have to say. Remember, today's going to be intense, emotionally speaking. We want to try to make sure we don't get caught up in the heaviness of it. We want to stay above it, come from an objective place. Kind of hard to do today, especially because, we're feeling the same intense emotions as our partners and everyone else. So we have to be the ones who try to come at it more objectively. Spirit guides, what would you like to tell us about today? What's your advice for this emotionally packed day? Why? Mending, second card. And finally, new life. Wow. I love my spirit guides. They always have something so cool to say. Okay. So we're working on these relationships this week, our miscommunications in our relationships, not being able to get our feelings out, we're kind of like discoordinated and discombobulated, and we're trying to bring balance, but we have to get back to why. I mean, back to the very beginning is, if the relationship isn't working, why? I'm here to tell you it's not always the other person. I think we've already said it. If you don't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. So look at that why real closely as to why that relationship is out of whack or isn't balanced or isn't fulfilling. Don't make them accountable. Look at yourself first and see what you're bringing to the table, how you are helping the relationship grow. Always come back to self first. And you're probably going to find that you have some issues within of not loving yourself. And if you don't love yourself, you can't love them. So why? Why aren't you fully participating? Mending. Why goes to mending. Once we understand why we're projecting that negativity on our partner, why we act the way we do with our partner, then we can go and we can start mending it. You got to know what the issue is first. You can't fix it if you don't know what it is. Why? Why am I doing these things? Why am I projecting these negative emotions on them? It can be the other way around too. Why are they doing that to us? I mean, there is two of us here. So look at both sides of the picture. And then once we get to the bottom of why, we can start mending and bring balance and harmony to the relationship. So you have to know what's going on, and then you fix it. Can it be fixed? Can it evolve? Can it grow? Or does it need to be released like we talked about yesterday? And Spirit promises you do this, you do the work, and there will be new life. There will be new life for the relationship. If you have to release it, there'll be new life for both of you. So do the work. The results are guaranteed. Satisfaction guaranteed if you do the work. Thank you so much for joining me on this Thursday. I wish each and every one of you a glorious day. Make those relationships balanced. Bring more harmony and love to them. Make it a great relationship today. Remember, life is lived from the inside out. Namaste.